All right. Hopefully you guys can hear all right. We're going to do a little bit of a drive tonight. It's really dark where I'm at right now, and that's intentional. We will get a lot more light as we get moving. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to head over to the Disney World area. There's a parking lot at Disney Springs that typically FSD has had a challenge with. So we're going to try that out tonight. And if I could just get at least one person to confirm audio is good, you can hear me perfectly, all that stuff. And we'll get moving right now. All right, cool. Thank you so much. We'll get moving now. We're here in Claremont in the area, basically straight west of Orlando. We are about 20 minutes or so away from Disney World. Looks like 30 minutes or so from the parking lot. But that's where we're going to head tonight. As it sits right now, I have it set in hurry, and we'll mess with some of the other settings here in a little bit. But the route that we're going on takes us around this really tough road. The very beginning of this is going to be a real challenge for FSD. So we're going to give it as many challenges as we can. We'll try to get some roundabouts in at some point as well. But just this first stretch here, we're going to go from country road to not very well marked road to interstate to 2-lane road to 4-lane road to 6-lane road. So we're going to have a little bit of everything packed in here. So it should be pretty good. Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. All right. Anyways, here we go. Let's give it a try. Start self-driving. And here we go. Now, the road that we're on right now is actually, this is just the state park. So we're kind of like at the entrance of it, which is funny because there's nothing marking the lanes or anything right here. So this is always a really good spot to start. You can see the lanes are not painted very well either. So I really like this spot to start from. Nice challenge. Unlike up in Michigan, you guys probably have snow up there now, don't you, Chris? It is currently 73 degrees, so it's starting to get a little bit chilly at night. We will do Mad Max mode later tonight, I promise. But for now, I just want to kind of see how it goes on our first drive. Literally first drive. I have not turned FSD on at all since this update. That was really interesting. A little jerky there, turning left as it navigated that curve. All right, so the one thing I don't like is, so this road right here, we are going way too fast for it. And I'm gonna turn it down to standard and see if it'll slow down. This is a 55-mile-an-hour road, and I like to do about 63 on this road. So it looks like standard is actually going to get us to 63 around that speed, which is what I would normally set it to. Of course, now we can't set an actual speed, which I don't like that so much. But scrolling up and down, it just changes the modes, it seems. Oh, wow. There we go. Already doing some windshield wiper action. So we've seen this one. I've only seen this once before, and it was in Robotaxi. It actually just squirted the windshield and did the quick little back and forth by the camera. That was fun. All right. And it waited and went. So this road is under construction. So we'll be heading up here. There's technically a traffic light up at the intersection ahead, but I don't think it's even on yet. So it should just be a normal stop. Oh, I see lights. So maybe they've turned it on now. So we'll see. And then what we're looking at here, I doubt you can see much, but basically straight ahead and slightly to the right is where we're headed, and that's the general Disney area. So They have it well marked here with these stop signs. Actually, one on both sides. Interesting. And then you can see the construction cones over here. There's no curb built, so it's still kind of messed up over here on the right. So see how smooth it takes this. It's really confident, I will say that. This reminds me of my first ride in Robotaxi. I don't know why, but it's that the turning, it just feels more confident the whole turn, if that makes sense at all. I'm also going to see if we can time how long it takes before me being distracted sets a warning on the screen. So I'm going to turn my head out the left window here in just a couple of seconds. So let's do that right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that was about 10 seconds. It's about the time we have before it sets up a warning. And it is pretty quick once you look forward again to put it back. That's not bad. That's longer than it used to be. Here in a little bit, we'll try to mess with the screen and see how long it lets us do that, because that is like the biggest pet peeve I'm sure we all have. So the road that we're on right now is a 45, and it turns into a 55 or a 50 or whatever. I would say that standard is doing the speeds I normally do on the previous version. So on a 55, I'll do like 63. On a 70, I'll do 80. On a 50, I'll do 55 to 60. Kind of the 5 to 10 mile an hour, depending on how fast the speed limit is and what traffic is doing. But on this road, based on my settings, so right here, the road is completely gone. It's supposed to go straight, but they're building a roundabout, so they've diverted traffic onto this temporary road. Looking good, looking good. All right, very good. No hesitation about where is the road and why am I over here. Very nice. Nice and smooth. All right, so back to what I was saying. So the way that I had my settings before on this road, when I put it in full self-driving previously, it would be 52 miles an hour automatically, and I would bump that to 55. So standard looks like it's exactly how I drive, basically like that 15% over or whatever, 15% up to 10 miles an hour is kind of probably the best way I would explain what I'm doing. And I'm really sorry. I'll try to do a better job of reading these comments. It's really hard for me to see what you all are saying. It's one thing I don't like about StreamYard, at least the free version. There goes the Cybertruck. All right, so let's go up to hurry and let's see what speed it would do on this road. So it would automatically do 52 based on my settings, and then I would scroll that up to 55. So let's see what hurry does now. It's gonna do like 60. So the car thinks it's a 45 mile an hour road, and we're doing like 60. So 15 over in hurry. I really hope that standard acts like hurry used to, because I appreciated how hurry did its thing. We're doing 62 now, so almost 20. So hurry is not going to work out so well for me, I don't think. So hopefully standard is a lot more aggressive than what it probably was before. All right, and by the way, fun fact, this is not a political statement, but this is the Charlie Kirk Memorial Highway now. It was designated, and up here on the left is the sign marker for it. I'm pretty sure it was the first road in the country, but you can see it up here. Usually people are stopped taking pictures and stuff, but yeah. All right, so basically what's happening now, we're getting ready to cross county lines, and because of eminent domain issues and alignment between the counties, the road doesn't go straight. It kind of does this really weird skippy thing. So as you can see in front of me, these signs, that's where the road is supposed to go, just straight through. But yeah, so this part of the road, we always go off the road, tires into big ditches and bumps and stuff, and it is like perfectly planted. So that's really nice. I don't know if you can tell, but there's no marking on the right side of the road. So sometimes, especially the Cybertruck, it doesn't do a very good job of staying away from those sides. And although we are getting close, we haven't hit any of the I guess, potholes. So, okay. I remember not that long ago, FSD could not do that turn at all. That little S that we just did. And that was like flawless. And then another cool fun fact for you, where we're getting ready to jump on the highway, off to our right, just over this field, is going to be the very first greenfield electric highway. So from scratch electric highway being built right now. It's just right over here, and they're building the overpasses for it right ahead of us that you'll be able to see. So that'll be a lot of fun to see come online and see what an electric highway is all about. All right, so coming up here, it is a toll road, so it's got to navigate through this toll booth. Sounds like they changed the turn signal sound. That's interesting. All right, this is a do not stop. So there you go, no issue. And now we need to start accelerating. Let's see in standard how it handles getting on the interstate. Okay, so on this road, this road I usually All right, so sorry about that. Really sorry. I'll go back and clip that out. A little bit of feedback loop. But this is the only way I can do this with live streaming, is having two devices. Anyways, so it looks like standard's only going to do 5 over on the interstate. So let's go up to hurry and see if it'll only do 80, because that's what I want it to do. I don't want it to do 82. I don't want it to do 85. I just want it to do 80. All right, so as you can see, let's see if it hits 82. So 81 is what FSD on the previous version would have set the speed to on a 70 automatically based on my presets. Let's see. Okay, so it's not going to wait too long to pass this guy. Pretty similar to what it was doing before as far as how long it was waiting. So passing that guy. But we are going faster than I would like. I don't want to go over 80 for very good reason. It seems that 80 miles an hour in a 70 is the sweet spot. I've never had an issue of getting pulled over or anything, but everything above that is, yeah. So I don't like that, because if I go down to standard, it's going to slow down to 75. I don't want to do 75 either. I just want to do 80. And this is one thing I don't like. Let's see if I change my offset. Let's see if I go plus 10 miles an hour. Let's see. Interesting, it did let me do all that too, by the way, without yelling at me. So we're kind of sitting at 77. This would annoy me. Because I feel like there's a better way to work through these settings. Like, I don't know. I don't want it to have to be as specific as each speed zone, what you want it to do, but I think that there's too much difference in how all of us drive and what we prefer for speed in each of those situations. Nice and smooth. And then as soon as this thing gets straight, it merges straight into this 4-lane road. So 2 lanes go in the direction we are. We gotta scoot over there, but it doesn't look like there's any cars over here right now, so it shouldn't be a problem. Very confident, didn't slow down, which I like. And I believe it's a 45-mile-an-hour road. So in standard, looks like 50 was what it was doing earlier, 52, something like that. As you can see ahead, we're pulling into the House of the Mouse. Interesting, it just kind of slowed down there. It was only 1 mile an hour, but I could feel it. It wasn't abrupt or anything, but I could definitely feel the car was kind of slowing down. I'm not sure what it thought it saw, but it was being cautious there. So as we start to approach general traffic, this is where I would prefer to have a profile that's a little bit more aggressive, but without going excessively fast. And that used to be called hurry. do like, however, that it gets out of the left lane when it's appropriate, instead of just camping in that left lane. All right, so it's already slowing down in advance. We're now at a 35, so that was interesting and new. That was interesting. So it wasn't quite sure which left turn lane it wanted to use there. So kind of hesitated and then came back to this one. I'm telling you, they changed the turn signal with the software update. It now is a dual click instead of our normal just one click tone. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in hurry and see if it'll get a little bit more aggressive around this traffic. Okay, so we'll go to the right to pass this guy. So far so good. Traffic is keeping us from being excessive in our speed. Pretty sure 45 miles an hour all the way to the parking lot we're headed to. Oh, that was a hesitation right there. I felt that one. Not sure what it thought it saw. This is really nice. This is something that, from a comfort standpoint, is how long it typically waits to start slowing down for a stoplight. That was a lot better. I don't know, what is that? Can you hear that? Oh, that's Phantasmic. Okay, I can hear the music. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but Hollywood Studios is right there. Like, all this is Hollywood Studios, and Phantasmic is right there. Yeah, I guess it is that time. Yeah, nice. Sorry if it gets a little jumpy over here. There's probably some congestion in the cell network because it is still kind of early that people are out and about. Much. I'm telling you. So coming up to stoplights, this is way better. It was a lot better before, but this is what you would expect. That's like exactly how you want to come up to a stoplight. So bravo. Good job on that one. That's cool. That's good to hear that. I wasn't sure. If we would have been a couple minutes later, probably would have had some fireworks. All right, so a little recap for those who just joined too. We are on our way to a parking lot. We're about 6 minutes away. This is a parking lot that FSD usually has challenges with. And we are in the moment in a hurry, but I'm about to turn that down because now we're doing 11 over, 12 over, 12 over in a 45, which is too much. And this is hurry, not Mad Max. So if I go into standard, we'll get the better speed, but it won't be quite as aggressive. I will say this too, that acceleration was more comfortable too, so a little bit smoother, not quite as hard throttle getting up to speed. And standard should be even more, yeah, about the same actually. Doesn't really accelerate any different than hurry mode does anyways. We will do Mad Max when we leave this area because I do want to see what that's all about, but I want to do it by the highway. Yeah, these speeds are just much more appropriate for the posted limit. But I also wanted to get out of this lane in advance of slowing down, like that. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe standard is the new standard. Whoa, it's did not like that bus getting close to us. That was interesting. It kind of did a double hesitation, and it definitely moved to the right, which was cool. But the hesitation, I'm not sure what that was about. All right, so we are at Springs. As you can see, there's Cirque du Soleil and all that. So this parking lot here, it's a surface lot, and I believe I selected the right address, but full self-driving sometimes has challenges with this parking lot because getting into it, there's a lot of one-ways into this, in and throughout this parking lot. So we'll see how it performs, how it figures everything out. But essentially, we want to be in this lot right here. So it needs to, okay, so it's already off to a good start. So it needs to be in this lane. Okay, so this is already better. So what it historically does is it stays in that lane, and then it tries to turn right over there, which is traffic coming this way, which is wrong. So that was solid. Now let's see what it does as far as parking. So this is a semicircle parking lot, and ideally we would want to be pretty close to Cirque du Soleil to park. There's a crosswalk there. It doesn't seem to slow down, so it feels confident. That's good. So hopefully it's not about to follow what the map is telling it to do. but the pin itself is actually like right ahead of us straight. But map data wants us to turn here, and that GMC, okay. Yeah, and it wants us to go to the end of this row and turn left, which is not great. That's not what we want it to do. So it's trying to figure out how to get to that pin. The pin isn't, I didn't drop a pin. I selected the parking lot when you zoom in close enough to select this specific parking lot. This is going to be really interesting because this is where things get sketchy and dicey. This is kind of a one-way exit. You cannot go any way that you want. They do a pretty good job of keeping traffic tight. So we can only go left. And it wants to turn left into the parking lot, but there's cones, so it's going to stop here. But I got to go because we're going to get in trouble. Okay, I just forced it to move. The guy behind me already honked, so let's see what it does now to try to figure out how to get back. Yeah, I'm telling you, this parking lot is just a challenge for FSD for a number of reasons. It is a challenging parking lot. Looks like it's going to try to just do a U-turn. All right, here goes our U-turn. Oh, no. What is it doing? Okay. It doesn't know. Okay, so it's going to go all the way this way. It did. It looked like map data wanted it to go all the way up and then turn. This is a problem too because that's that ramp, so it can't follow the route it just reset for itself. And this is where map data becomes an issue when FSD is trying to figure this stuff out. Now, so far it hasn't, other than in that parking lot, stopped. So it's just kind of updating as it goes. It's just going to take us down the road before doing a U-turn where it can. Right, there's a Orange County Sheriff. They're everywhere over here, so that's why speeding is not really a good idea. All right, so one thing I am impressed at is this whole stretch, everything we just drove cannot turn left, let alone do a U-turn. This is the designated spot to do a U-turn, so it knew to come all the way to here instead of, example, that last stoplight we were at to do a U-turn. So that part of the map data is right, but I'm very curious if when it gets back to this parking lot, is it going to do the same thing, or is it going to learn from its mistakes? Is it just going to find something? So we'll take a look at the map location that it thinks it's headed to. Let's see how that compares. Was a bit of a hesitation there. I think that was the third one that we've felt so far. Nothing too jarring, but you do feel it. Cool. Good job. Is that truck? All right, so far it looks the same as when we pulled in, just a straight line in. And you can see that the point is in the same spot. It's unfortunate that dot goes right there. Okay, see, this is what FSD used to do a lot. This is the wrong lane. We cannot turn right from here. See, it just tried to turn over to that lane and realized it's too late. This is blocked off. I felt so good the first time we pulled in here. I'm so disappointed. Man. So I don't know what it's going to do at this point. This is like rideshare pickup drop off and outside buses. We cannot turn around and then turn left into the parking lot we're supposed to be headed to. It's not possible. So, man, such a bummer. I don't know why we're just sitting here. There you go. So up ahead is, it says service vehicles only. So everything over here is for ride share. We'll see if it just goes down this way and turns around. Gotta love it. It's always one car holding up everybody instead of pulling over out of the way. Okay, so good thing is it's turning right. And hopefully it does go around this guy. Okay, so it does. Being cautious. Nice. Now get over. Perfect. Excellent. Handled that situation really well. Okay, I can see the map just updated. It thinks it's going to be able to turn left into that parking lot, and it's not. So what it's really got to do is go out and do another U-turn. Okay, stop sign. A much smoother stop, by the way, at these stop signs than before. And not quite as long of a hold at those stop signs, which is nice. Okay, so it wants to turn left here. It has to realize it can't. So it's going to get over into this lane, which is good. And let's see if it tries to do the same thing where it updates to a roundabout, or so it says a U-turn here, but it got confused. I'll try to let it do a U-turn here, but otherwise I'm going to take over instead of going all the way down, and I'll reset on the other side of this median here. So let's see if it can do it. There's nobody behind us, so this should be safe. Oh, look at that. So I don't know, that's the kind of thing that says, hey, it learned. I don't know if it actually did or not, but that was good. Okay, but now it's getting in the wrong lane again. So did it actually learn? Come on. All right, I'm not going to let it go straight, but we'll see if it can figure it out beforehand. Why did it do it right the first time and not this time? That I don't understand. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my turn signal on and try to ask it to turn right. No, okay. I'll wait for traffic. I'll be more patient. Come on. All right, it has to get over before these cones. It's still not. Yeah. So I'm going to manually take over here and put it in the right lane so it doesn't miss it again. Now let's turn it back on. So let's see what it thinks to do. Okay, so this time it's going to turn in the first opportunity it has. Now this person, okay, it did not like the high-vis jacket lady standing there. It really just wants to get to this pin. We're in like the middle of nowhere in this parking lot with nobody. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Well, unless it's just going to park. There we go. It said this is as close as I can get. Kind of angled, but better than it usually parks on its own. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of, so this is what I've been selecting because I wasn't sure if it was the watermelon parking lot or something else. So this I know is the parking lot. Okay, it's not going to let me select it now, of course. But if Cirque du Soleil was my destination, let's see what it would have done. All right, it's backing out, which is really cool. It's really trippy to see. And this is also challenging. You can't see, but there's some ballards there that prevent it from turning right. But it looks like most of them are not set up right now. So okay. Yeah, it has to pull into this one because the next one is blocked. Okay, it's going to the front. All right. So, oh, shaky, shaky. All right. That person's not waiting. At least it attempts to park cleaner. It's still not as good as I would like, but that's kind of what I expected it to do on this trip to the parking lot. So parking while in FSD is still not as clean as manually selecting a spot. Let me show you what I mean. All right. That spot right there. Same spot. So when you select it on the screen, it'll back in, and it does a much better job. I still don't understand why these two software solutions to parking are not meshed together. Because this, although it's doing a 4-point turn, it's fine because it parks perfectly into this spot. Almost every single time. It's just like, why can't it do this from FSD? So that I don't understand. I don't know why that's not meshed in with FSD, because it should be. So let me take a look here. Let me catch up. Sorry. Okay, maybe I won't go that far back. Reversing is definitely better. It is smooth as butter. It does a great job. Yes, it's busy for Monday. It is fall break for parts of the country, so we have an influx right now. And this is kind of, with the peak was last week, I think. So it's kind of smoothing out a little bit. And the Mouse House is not 24/7, but it's 10:18 p.m. All right, so my conclusion there is still some work to do to figure this parking lot out. Regardless of where a pin goes, it shouldn't matter. The car needs to figure out, when I select watermelon and mango parking lots and I select go, it shouldn't have to figure out that you can't actually physically park in the grass next to that lake and keep going in circles to figure this out. Like, it needs to know. So that's got to be fixed. Super bummed that that didn't work out. But now what I want to do is get some highway in here so we could do some Mad Max. And I think what we will do, let's just go to the good old V2. No, that's not enough highway. Scratch that. Let's add a stop. All right. Let's add a stop. The Olive Garden. Ford's Garage. This place will be busy, so that's a good spot. Let's go to Ford's Garage. Add a spot. We'll go there first. They'll give us some highway, and we'll come back up into the charger that I'm headed to. So, start self-driving. You don't have to press brake to confirm. It just goes. It's already preconditioning, which is nice, even though the charger's not the next stop. All right, so there's a ton of traffic now, so people are leaving. Why didn't it just go there? What is it doing? Oh my gosh. This is where AI is going to help a lot, when Grok is integrated into this thing and it can start learning. Like, we need to go there. We need to turn right now. Okay. Wow. guess we'll just go through. Oh, hesitation. It's kind of skittish around cars and people that aren't doing traditional things in that spot, like driving straight in its lane with traffic. Any variation from that, it gets kind of concerned. In a parking lot, if there's a person outside the car but the headlights are on, it doesn't like that. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, this is the new update for whoever was asking. This is 14.1.3. Right. Here we go. Yeah, it really is kind of busy for 10:20 on a Monday. No, we're not launching today. That'll be later. All right, so what we're doing now is we're going to go down the road here, jump on the highway. We're going to go all the way down to Champions Gate. We're going to pull into a busy area. I don't know why it hesitated. It seems to think of everybody's wanting to get in its lane. It's very, I guess, hesitant around that. But anyways, we'll jump on the highway up here, and then we are going to take the interstate down to Champions Gate to a very busy area, park in the Ford's garage parking lot, and then we will jump back on the road and head to a charger, taking kind of a what do you want to call that, a highway, a back road highway, so to speak, whatever they're called. Kind of out of it at the moment, sorry. Okay. Does a nice job navigating around these people. We are in standard right now, but I promised you Mad Max. Let's go Mad Max right now. We are now in Mad Max. So here comes the on-ramp. Should be doing a big loop. As soon as this, there it goes. Yep. Just get ready to say, as soon as that solid line is gone, I bet it goes around them. Let's see how hard it pushes it on this. It's really not pushing it too bad. I thought maybe it would. No, not too crazy. I'd definitely push it harder. So it's at least comfortable on around on ramp, off ramp. All right, we have nice sporadic traffic, so this is a really good real world example. What's it gonna do navigating around all these cars? And it should be the same. We're gonna be jumping on I-4 here in a moment. There will be plenty of cars on there, I promise you that. But hopefully it'll be kind of like this, kind of like Frogger. This guy's stopping. What's he doing? Yeah, go around him. Okay, there we go. See, it's almost like every car in a parallel lane, if they touch the brakes or if they kind of start to swerve a little bit. This car does not like that. And so far, Mad Max doesn't feel like anything different. All right, now we are merging on I-4. Should be plenty of traffic here to make our way through. And we're kind of boxed in. Go. Okay. Now it's going. Okay, now it's going. So that was nice. I am a little worried about what the top speed is going to be, though. This is a 70-mile-an-hour road. Actually, the car thinks it's 65 right here. So right now, it is closing in on 20 miles an hour over. All right, traffic is slowing us down. I want to see if it'll do 20 over on the interstate, because in some areas that is considered reckless driving from a ticket perspective. Just FYI. So there's 80. We are passing all these people on the far right. Like it. That I do like. So yeah, it is a 65. We're doing 80 because we don't have open road. We're getting ready to get open road. We passed everybody on the far right. I like it. I'm pretty sure that's not technically legal, but when you're stuck behind traffic, what else are you gonna do, right? All right, there's 83. We're slowing down because we're coming up on traffic. I bet you this thing was about to do 85. We're still in a 65. There's 84. We're coming up on a construction zone 2. Like, this is crazy. The whole road is diverting. 1 mile an hour shy of reckless driving. So that's what Mad Max is. That's not smart. So if I go into hurry, though, I suspect the top speed won't be much different. So we're in hurry now. You're in a construction zone, I guess, technically. 65 miles an hour. Yeah, I see police lights ahead. We're slowing down. Fortunately, the car is slowing down well in advance instead of waiting. Okay, so it's going to try to get over, which is good. It's even slowing down to get behind this semi. Oof. A little bit of a jerk there. Okay, now we are switching lanes and hard accelerating in front of a cop on a solid line. Okay, there's... Alright, we are out of the traffic, or the construction zone, excuse me. Definitely. So, we should be... Okay, sorry about that. We lost connection to the iPad. I don't know why. We had a cell issue. Service is not great down here, but let me turn my camera around. We are getting off on the exit. This is really bad. So sorry. And I'll have to fix online. But wow, it really liked speeding a lot. I was surprised in hurry it did go that much more than the posted speed limit. So I do apologize. This side of town can sometimes be not the best with cell service. I didn't really think about that. So um, just stick around if you lose feed or whatever. I'm still here. I will get the camera thing sorted out. We'll get the iPad hooked back up and give you a better camera angle in just a minute. We'll let it finish part of it where we're going to the parking lot. We're going to park. I'll grab the phone when we get there and see if I can prop it up while it parks itself. No, not Cybertruck. I don't think anybody on Cybertruck got it. I think that's going to be a while, unfortunately. All right. So we're going to be turning here in just a moment to the parking lot. I will see if FSD will let me grab my phone and hold it back over where I'm sitting so you can see what it does as we pull into this parking lot. We are going to this Ford's. It is directly on my left. This is so for those of you not familiar, the flashing yellow. Oh man, okay, it went green. When you see a flashing yellow arrow, that means you can go when it's clear. All right, so there's a sheriff ahead. If I can get be able to get somewhere here shortly. It was before right for really interesting. Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. It's kind of spotty over here. Now for all right, and then we should be progressively getting better bandwidth here now moving forward. Should be a much more stable feed. Sorry about that. Thanks for being patient, though. I apologize. Not much I can do about it at the moment. Let me remove myself from stage. There we go. Should have a full screen now. Should be looking a lot better. Hopefully that is your experience at the moment. All right, so I'm in standard. Again, 5 miles an hour over. That's all that will do. But if I go to hurry, this thing's going to go faster than I would like to. I just want to do 80 in a 70. I don't know. It's really frustrating. I don't like losing setting your own speed. I kind of get it, but that is not a plus for me. Because now we are going too fast. But if I set it to Mad Max, it doesn't seem to really be much different from a top speed perspective as Hurry. It just seems to be more aggressive in handling, I guess, traffic around, navigating other cars and things like that. That's really the best way to describe it. I know a lot of people when it first came out, oh my god, it's amazing, this is so much, this is way different. It's really not. Maybe in gridlock traffic it acts different. That's probably where you're going to see the biggest difference with Mad Max. But I don't like this. I'm getting 85 miles an hour. If I go to Hurry, it did actually just slow down. So that's interesting. Oh, okay, because the exit is 1/10 of a mile. It wasn't, yeah. So Hurry was accelerating to 85. And Mad Max seem to have the same 15 mile an hour over, except for apparently when it's a 65 mile an hour zone, it just does the same 85, which is nuts, especially in a construction zone. But here we go through the toll gate, no issues, of course. And we'll be pulling into my go-to favorite location because it's the closest to my house. But it's a V2 and it's a Wawa, so that's nice. I don't know why we're sitting here. We are in Hurry at the moment. Was there a sign that said don't turn on red that I didn't see? Yeah, it's definitely not going to attempt. What if I go Mad Max? Nope. Yeah. There must have been a sign back there that said no turn on red that I did not see. So that's kind of nice. Now, what's going to be interesting is, so we'll see what it does when we pull into this charger. Let's look at the map real quick. Is it in the right spot? Yeah. It's going to take us to the right spot in the parking lot. So it should, in theory, pick out a charger and back itself in. So let's see if it does that. All right. Really nice, smooth transition from descent acceleration to coming to a stoplight. As the traffic light switched to red, rather than an abrupt change, it was nice and smooth. That was that whole part of FSD is so much cleaner, and accelerating through turns. I think my biggest takeaway so far is speed profiles suck, and the car is very concerned about the other cars in the lanes next to it and what they're doing. A little bit skittish. It's also a little too literal on physical location. So if you select a parking lot that's on Google Maps and that dot is actually in a back corner, it's going to try to go to that back corner. So it's probably always best to just select the place. Oh man, this is the one thing I don't like about this side of town. There's traffic lights everywhere. This is like 6 lanes of all day traffic. It's going to be really interesting to hear what my wife's thoughts are as she drives this thing to work tomorrow, because she is a speed demon. She might really like these new speed profiles. Whoa, what was that? Not sure what it thought it saw. All right, so we're pulling to the charger. Let's see if it does the right thing here. Definitely, I mean, you can probably even see that on camera. This thing's just so confident pulling into turns and stuff. As long as there's not another car, just no hesitation, no slowing down, just goes. Stop signs in parking lots needs to be programmed as optional. All right, please do not select this one. Okay, this is really interesting. This is a pull-in stall. It is backing into a pull-in stall. Why? Why is it doing this? Now, if it selected the one next to it, that's the handicap stall, which I thought is what it was doing. But we are literally, let's see if you can see it. You can probably just see the corner of it. The supercharger's right there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it did back into a spot, and it is a charging spot. Oh my gosh, this car sometimes. Okay, let's try that one. This particular charging station is interesting too, because it's got two sets of lines where they move the spots a little bit. So sometimes it gets confused by all that, as you can probably see now on the screen. Two lines there, two lines there. So sometimes that can be confusing for the computer to figure out. All right, we are on this line. So it's basically trying to figure out how to average these lines out. There we go. Nice job. Perfect. Too bad I didn't do that when I pulled in. That was interesting. I've never had that happen where it backed into a pull-in stall. Huh. Let me plug this thing in and I'll wrap this up. Hang on a second. All right. So, speed profiles, no BN. I do not like that you either go 5 over or you go 15 over. There's nothing in between. I don't understand that. Mad Max seems to be more related to city traffic than it does speed, kind of. Hurry and Mad Max seem to be the same speeds-ish. It's very confident going into turns. I like that. It's very skittish around traffic. This is something that we used to have back in the day, where it was kind of not so confident in traffic around other cars. It seems to be doing that again, and that I don't like. But it's going to be really interesting. Like I was saying when I was pulling in here, my wife, she has a lead foot. So it'll be interesting to see what she thinks about these new profiles, and if she's more of a Mad Max person, or what she is going to think overall. My assumption is she's really going to like it, because her feedback has been, to this point, she finally started using FSD more, but she still takes over to pass people because she has no patience for it. So I think she's going to love Mad Max personally. So, yeah. Yeah, there is zero charging etiquette. And that is another thing that I don't understand. So Tesla directly is installing these chargers. They know the layout of all these chargers. They know that that one that it backed into is a pull install. That should be programmed for this location. Every charging location should be perfect. It should be able to find the charger. It knows where, they know where it's at. Just program it. And I don't understand. I also don't understand how the software running to park while you're in FSD versus when you select the spot and have it automatically park. Those are two different softwares, and it's still the case that I don't understand. But I think that these are such small things they can figure out. The hesitation around other cars and making that a little bit smoother, I think that'll come in 1 or 2 updates to V14. But so far, I really like it. I just don't like the speed situation. I hope that there's an alternate solution for this that we can figure out, because this doesn't work well for me. I don't want to do 5 over. That's too slow. But I also don't want to do 15 over. That's too fast. And doing 20 over in and up to a construction zone is just like, that shouldn't happen in any of the modes, in my opinion. Maybe I'm out of line here, but I don't know. It was great to drive, though. I've been looking forward to this. I hope that you guys have it now, or you're getting it really soon. Thanks for tuning in. Super sorry about the connectivity issues. I will be smarter about the route next time so that doesn't happen. But thanks for hanging out and checking it out with me. Catch you guys around. Peace out.